You know, this is where you see the best of Valde consistently for OG, where sometimes he can be very strong hit and then potential miss every so often across other maps within the OG map pool. So this is, I think, going to be quite a close head-to-head, one that both teams really require to get a bit more stability and, again, kind of be in charge of their own fate moving forward in the group.
Yeah, I think I've not checked, obviously, as we get into game here, but our first team secured through for EU is Astralis. So a bit of an update for you folks from the Twitterverse. Might have been another one within that time that have just closed out their game as well, but not 100% sure. Either way, focusing in here, of course. Slow start. That's how pistols always tend to go on this map for sure. Sending the feelers out there. Double utility in from OG. And they'll quickly go for it towards this A bomb site. Not wasting any time with that long smoke. Got another available, but what's the plan for it? There you go. It's a later Moto smoke to come through. Molly in towards Pit, but can they hold off against the pistols? So far, not so good. There's 4 players ready and waiting. They've been read like a book. 2 kills do come back in on the trades, but it's Halzerk on the site with the clean flick to finish it off.
Man, they had 3 belts of utility there for Dignitas, and they just use it so efficiently. So many flashes raining in towards short just as OG are pulling the trigger and trying to crunch into that site. You can see how blind they were. Even a couple of the CTs were blinded up as well. We're getting flashbacks of previous maps instead, but that's because that pistol went by so quickly. How could you catch it? Really solid procedure therein from Dignitas. Like you said, solid read on the situation. And now moving into the second round, they've already found a lot of damage onto Mantu. You know, he's not feeling too nice with this tech. Can't exactly swap it out to somebody else that's got better weaponry because they've all got the same.
Interesting, actually, that we don't see a single deagle.
Yep.
Allows you to buy a little bit more utility, of course, when you go for the 500 versus 700. If you
the
are
tech's back?
Perhaps clueless. I bloody hope not.
Right, we've already seen it being pulled out in a fair few games, right? And it's been, you know, getting about the same results as you'd expect. But when it's
I'm down with it being middle ground, okay,
Yeah.
but definitely not the 2016-ish levels of, you know, Tech 9 Meister. Oh, Nico, though, trying to emulate Halzerk with the aggression, finds the double. Jeez. The flick onto the second is pretty crazy. Nonetheless, though, it's a 3 versus 3. Lekro with the aggressive post up. Love it in a round like this where they are indeed going to try and contact in, play it thick and fast. Can't quite finish off Valde. We've got decent damage here from OG and, of course, a bomb plant. The round itself is going to be difficult, but not entirely out of the question, right? So, Dig, bit of a test here. See what they've got on the LAN, of course, as they do have a kit for Freiburg. I believe a flash that heaped through to create some space. He's got a smoke available as well, but just all about closing the gap with these MP9s. And indeed, the contact should be good enough. Valde and Pit, you called this his map. Tap onto the bomb, in fact. Oh, not going to be the hold. Okay, looked a little dicey on the headshot angle, but they will indeed get it done. It's that 10-second hold. Again, you know, making us needlessly sweat ever so slightly, but it's all good.
Yeah, the difficulty was going to be that Dignitas didn't actually have this offensive utility, even though those plays were so low. This effort from Halzerk is really, I mean, more than you could have asked for in that situation, considering there were so many players waiting around the corner. But it brings it into that position where even the remaining OG players, they're what, like 8 HP a pop. So those SMGs, yeah, closing that gap is really that primary objective that they accomplish, even with the potential for Valde to slip the net. It doesn't cause too many troubles.
Well, usual tit for tat here, as you would expect. With the nadage. Dig, you've got to be careful. You know, we got Halzerk taking dry peeks in towards middle. My dude, it's not as easy as you might think. They actually have a relatively good buy here, so give the respect across. Minute and 20. OG has yet to show their hand.
And they're leaving Freiburg in charge of this one. Seems like Keep may even... Oh, he's throwing his nades over to Freiburg. Love that. Little exchange over banana. It's off cam, but you know, you see it swap on over. So Freiburg's got another smoke and a molly to play with. looking to stack this A site though here are Dignitas, and OG haven't really made up their mind yet. You know, they're probing, see if they can maybe get some brackets control if it was given up for free, but the constant smokage in their area does leave them delayed.
Halzerk. Oh, he had the angle, but Nico, like, corner of the head. You shoot out your eyes in this game. It felt like he had one eye. That's why they call it the right eye peak, right? And Indeed gets the advantage because of it. We'll see here, in towards long, leaving it open. Kind of risky. They will indeed isolate the player on the site. There's still 2 more to go. One more on site, one in towards pit, but they're not ready for Forest on site. MP9 in hand. And he's taking the round into his hands. Flies in to take out Valde. Filthy stuff as Dig will find number 3.
That's the value of the stack. The 4th player that kind of slips on by. They think they've killed everyone they need to on that A bomb site. Then suddenly Forest just springs into action. They had no idea that he was still in towards the A site. And the fact he's able to spin it into 2, then jump at Valde. Come on now. Give Valde a clean gunfight. Maybe he wins it, but the added mobility of that SMG certainly coming to play. A couple close rounds. These haven't been cleaned by any stretch by Dignitas, but constantly keeping OG in this half-buy territory. Never in a strong set of rifles. It's not too many. Is it weird that we consider the Galil now one of the stronger rifles?
I think cost effectiveness wise, it definitely is. That's always been the case for the T side, isn't it? That's what you are absolutely looking for. And maybe part of the reason why the A1S is so popular right now. You know, they've immediately shifted in. Yes, the damage is there. I still feel against multiple opponents, you know, if you're going to burst through a smoke or whatever, the A4 is going to get you more DPS. But the saving of $400, wait, no, it's 200. Still, is a lot. Is a lot.
Substantial.
Yes. Either way, pushing towards this B bomb site. Bomb site going to get excuse me. That's hilarious if you're from the UK. Either way, Nico will manage to find one with the Deagle. He's got himself an M4. Oh, they deny the plant away nicely enough. I think that was the big goal here, of course. Nico's still alive. The back end of the site is pretty low. Smoke's going to dissipate now. Not really got a lot to work with. 1 versus 3 looking a little less likely. Flash comes in and they will take him down. Yeah, just biding their time to find that.
Yeah, perfect flash. And even with OG getting so much space in towards that site, the addition of the smoke towards the new boxes, just a lot of additional room to play off of and buy time there for the rotations. So nothing gets really out of hand. Even with OG trying to rush the plant, they were unsuccessful, getting spammed on down. So things looking pretty solid here from Dignitas. They have still yet to stabilize their money here on the CT side. Even with winning those 4 straight, they haven't got much money in reserve. And we're seeing Dignitas as well implement a lot of what we've seen throughout IEM Fall. A lot of teams experimenting with the nade droppage, especially over towards the B side. I think when the changes first came out, this is the one that immediately snapped to the forefront of everybody's mind. Oh, you're going to give 5 smokes to a B side player? How are you ever going to breach it? It's not quite gone as ridiculous as that. More HEs and quite often offensive utility, because Banana can be that choke point that often whittles down the T side. Now, with a more concerted focus on Banana, OG will take control of it. Nobody really contesting up close from Dignitas, nor really positioned to go for any sort of like a pop flash play.
The good news is that I've gotten Sean Connery out of my system. The bad news, of course, is that the execute here is looking pretty good on that OG side. They're really grouped up, you know, very little damage taken, a lot of utility to still work with. Dignitas, meanwhile, what have they got left? A flash?
Yeah, they're
call for the rotations. I'd love to see a rotation already, you know what I mean, as soon as they saw that site smoke come in, but they commit to the A play, and it might just cost them. Fire everywhere, flashes everywhere. Freiburg on high, didn't drop down. the braver man than I. 5-on-4 ensues. Therefore, we've got a quick flank coming in from Lekro. Will be watched. The missed shot leads to a kill and some damage to the smoke here. Makes it look a little more doable. They've got to deal with Lekro on the flank. Flash coming in from his teammates, in fact, to try and help him out. It's a distractionary play on the corner. Don't die, of course. Meanwhile, Flamesy's found Halzerk. And with that, they're going to move away and save. They just don't have enough control to work with.
Yeah, not all of control, HP, utility. There's a lot of things that have gone askew here for Dignitas. A kill on the exit. Heap trying to get away with his rifle and will be secured around that corner. Forrest is still lingering around, though. All that economic damage that Dignitas have been feeling. Trying to do some onto OG as they get their first round win here on this T side. That front side smoke and the flash that came on over, it's tailor-made to deal with players on that boost or potentially deal with players in a dark as well. It's one I've seen, I think, a couple of teams use at this event so far, but it's so well placed because you could see Freiburg full blinded just gets nothing done.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of filth, kind of filth. We'll have to see, though. Dignitas on the bounce back. I think absolutely need to find it quickly. Halzerk's been demoted down to the CZ. Really, really rough stuff. Now we see a bit more presence towards B, at least early on. I genuinely do think, you know, rooted to that A bomb site, not the wave, not the move. So we'll see if they indeed pick up a little bit of a dynamic play moving forwards. Lekro gonna have the busy boys coming in. Somehow doesn't get checked. They've seen the bomb, so the jig is up. Still two more players in on the site, 2 quick rotations. So this is what we're talking about, right? Get them moving, proactivity, try and capitalize while they're isolated, while they're split up. Big damage coming in. The finish off as well through the smoke. Valde will find his kill from short. And now looking a bit weird. Molotov comes in, creates space to take out Alexi B. Valde falls. It's onto Mantu. Can't get it done as there are just sporadic kills all over the place. However, when the dust settles, Dignitas have 2 remaining and they will find themselves a 5th round.
Yeah, all that chaos there for OG. I don't think they really knew what they wanted from that site. As soon as they dealt with the players within it, suddenly Alexi's in this terrible position in a moto where he has to deploy a smoke just to keep himself alive. He threw it, and I thought the Molotov was actually going to still bloom on him, but even with that being extinguished, it was just another level to that chaos because Dignitas didn't wait around. They just ran straight at OG before they could get that bomb down. And another grenade cache here from Dignitas. I'm kind of the opinion that with more and more teams experimenting with this, we'll actually see teams try and nade those specific positions to kind of throw those caches in for a loop. And then you end up on this like Dora the Explorer scavenger hunt looking for flashbangs. What is this from Halzerk? He's so aggressive and doing it solo. Spots the player, but the shot's missed. So certainly a chance to open up this round. OG, though, ready to set up for some sort of a holes pop. The rest of the squad are in at second middle and being able to hold things down in at the graveyard. Forrest doubling up. Nade doesn't do too much, but staying alive is all that matters.
Yeah, and he's completed that mission. Nico on the AK is a little frightening into this round, but at the moment, not really looking to find an awful lot. Oh, Tech9's always scary up close, and here we go. Nico does manage to find Forrest. Oh, it's coming close. You want to minimize the damage here, guys. Oh, and another gonna fall. The AWP will take him down thanks to the Molotov, but they can kind of be happy with that, right? They're going to be buying into this round, and they have brought your economy down to a nice spot where if OG win this cleanly, deny the save away, we're probably not going to see a buy coming out from Dig.
Yeah, of course, the Dignitas guys, part of the story for them is trying to get these legends back into the major cycle, you know, bring up some of the young guns as well. This was kind of a rebuild project. And OG, you know, they have a lot to prove as well. Alexi still has to show that he can perform at these tier 1 events, and the major is a great place to start. So it's not as though either team is really out of contention just yet, but things looking so good for Dignitas on these gun rounds. Once again, they go for this aggro line. Halzerk's able to go 1-for-1 alongside Lekro. So OG, they are down this man, and they're not over. They're not done with it yet. Freiburg goes for the peak down Banana as well. Thought they would have been happy enough with the 4-on-3, but now only 2 offensive players they need to deal with. OG left in a rut.
Dignitas ain't messing around. These LAN veterans really showing their experience and showing their medals, you know. Showing that they still have it. Slow move in here from OG towards this B bomb site. I mean, what more do you expect when there's only 2 players? Well done to flush a couple out. Freiburg, though, in and around the pillar, taking the passive spot, will be seen and finished. So I guess that angle does not work, guys. The way Heap's still around.
To
try and deny the bomb. Plan away! Oh, Flames. He does get the bomb down, but yeah, that timing is just so awkward. Now on to Valde. Trying to play on high. It would have been nice if he had someone to play off of, but not going to be the case. Will be spotted out. Takes out the first. Bomb not really planted for him. So yeah, it's just a case of finding the off angles that work, finding the timings that work, and he's done so. Spins back around, and it's too close for comfort, but Heap will take him out. Still heavily costly, but it doesn't matter. Dignitas are 7-1 right now.
Oh man, you could really see Valde winning that as well. Found perfect timings on those players CT. But I mean, I love the aggression that we're seeing in from Dignitas. They're ahead. They don't just turtle up. The passive holds on these sites have been working. But I'm loving the responsibility that Freiburg is implementing as well. He's been taking a lot more of these aggressive faces. He's been left in charge of the B bomb site a number of times over as well. And even in that man up position, wasn't quite finished, even with OG bringing it so close. Yeah, this Dignitas run continues to spread. Soon enough, we should expect tack timeouts if OG don't break these bomb sites all too successfully. They can't hold it down in the post plants either. But they are sitting on max loss, so they can go, you know, buy, save, or buy, half buy. There's no saving anymore, really, when you're maxed. Once again, they will leave Freiburg in charge of his namesake. And they'll stack over towards A. This time over, OG aren't just grouped up in at the brackets where it felt like they were destined for an A-side play. So Freiburg could still see a lot of contention. And I imagine OG are going to want to be able to push and pull the rotations here from the CT side. So many times in high-level play, it's about adding this layer of unpredictability just so you don't walk into these stacks. But even with some nades being expended over towards Banana, they haven't rotated here on Dignitas.
Not biting. I mean, it's something they did previously, isn't it? Really trying to fake them out here. Nice little 1-for-1. Especially in this late stage. Oh, it was going to work for the T side, but Valde bites off a bit more than he can chew. Testing Alzerk, not a wise move. However, it's the B hit that comes in. You know, they've sent bodies. They have sacrificed players in order to sell this. And they've done so successfully, at the very least, to get the bomb down. In terms of the retake itself, all remains to be seen. Great angle from Flame Z. Really well found. It could be a massive kill as they go barreling on forwards. The quick 1-for-1 is all good. 2-on-2 now. Isolated CTs. His man 2 keeps on spraying. It's all down to Halzerk. He has 2 to find, and despite the man advantage, it's fallen apart right here. Brilliant post plant for OG so far. Just got to keep it going. One more hurdle to get past. He knows that there's a player that's low, but this crossfire, impossible. Absolutely. And that will be number 2 for OG.
Yeah, 2 times over, breaking into B. And it started out pretty well there from Dignitas. They had that 4-man stack on that A site. Halzerk able to get those 2 kills, but we knew that was going to be a bit of an issue, is that Freiburg can be isolated over at B. The fact that Flames is able to pick him up above the smoke, that gave so much more room for OG to play off of. If they had simply taken the site and sat within it, they would have been crunched from the banana flank, the re-aggression from CTs on the rotation. So being able to go head-to-head in construction really just gives them that extra breathing room that makes it more difficult for Dignitas to get firm reads on positions. Maybe we start to see a stride being hit for OG. Maybe this B bomb site could be a little bit of a liability as well if Dignitas are so adamant and put so much faith in Freiburg, which I'm a huge fan of, by the way. But if it's not seeing success in it, especially if Flames is going to be able to win out that head-to-head consistently, then expect Dignitas to make that change. Almost turned into a Pokemon there. Diglet.
It's all good. I think we've had a long few days. I have a little bit of an excuse coming out the other end of a cold, and I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of drinking and whatnot of
Water, of
water
course. Yep.
before anyone starts assuming. I think just kind of screwed me over for my little mishap earlier. So, but that's okay. It's part of the course, and it's funny.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
exactly.
Either way, extended pause always going to take the tension down a little bit between these two teams, particularly at the early stages of the game. OG in with a really good chance to start running it back. Need to build up some cash, need to build up some confidence. And, well, they are indeed very confident. The temerity to go for a play like this, they're just straight in, contacting through, eyeballing the smokes, not wasting any time to make their way towards the A bomb site. Valde, whoa, dinked out. Zeus for Halsdick.
Oh, yeah, not gonna work at this distance.
No, sir. He's trying to USP it. Will not happen. And now the 5-on-3. And they're debating, actually, and I think they will indeed just save what they have.
Yeah, you've got some utility, some armor on these players, and of course the upgraded pistols, but bouncing around the corner, Lecro, that's an easy kill for Valde. And yeah, no issues here for OG. All those successes over on the B bomb site. Dignitas went for an early 3-man play, so it's only 2 players to deal with in at the intended target. Exactly the most fortified. Seems like they will be able to get away with that little that they bring forward into this round. Anyway, nice stuff here from OG, keeping a good read on the money situation as well from Dignitas, which can be kind of hard to do, especially when you are down as many rounds as you are. But with how many 2 players surviving, 3 players surviving here for Dignitas, able to crunch all the numbers. And another opportunity to bridge in on that gap. A 4th projected here. There's only really USPs. Not ready to count anything out. Past week and a bit, seen Glock rounds 1. Seen, I think, one USP round 1. Albeit not in this region, but even still.
Basically had 2 yesterday, I would say.
Yeah.
Two hard ecos that Fnatic lost within the space of like 4 or 5 rounds. That's kind of crazy. One of them did have an AK in, I guess, but the low time in between, of course, is the big factor there. Rest in peace, Heap. Gets overwhelmed with the CT push. Nice little change up from OG that they might pull into future rounds as well. Again, really playing things instinctively, not thinking about it too much. That's good against the pistols, I suppose. You don't want to be overthinking, especially on LAN. But this is also a tactic they could bring into future rifle rounds, and I'd like to see that.
Yeah, and really just making use of the fact that Alexi still has this SMG as a result of a good read on the economy last round. So they just run him at Heap, and then there's not really many places for Lecro to hide on the site. Maybe this change of pace. I do agree. Bring it into a rifle round. See if you can just find these quick entries, especially with how Dignitas have been kind of like juggling a lot of their utility in the early round, which is another thing that CTs could fall susceptible to if it sees too much play. Oh, Hunter needs to be careful he doesn't just die. But there's Alexi sweeping up the rest of the kills. What has he gotten 3 kills on? I think he's gone 5 kills past a couple rounds, so farming up a lot of extra cash on the Mac 10. He's up to 10k, so yeah. Stuffed pockets.
Free AK too, dude.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. And because he's such a nice guy, he actually drops it. What a lovely guy. There you are. The in-game leader.
For your team, exactly.
Exactly. Jinx, lol. See you in a few. Haha. Got him. Either way, we'll see what Dig have got. It is starting to get a little dangerous on the gap close. Great opening rounds for Dignitas, but they have struggled with the adaptation. It's always something that indeed can be difficult. Again, especially in the best of ones on LAN. There's all this pressure and all this speed, I think, being employed to a lot of these rounds so far. It can make it hard to keep up. It can make it hard to actually figure out why you've been losing.
And Dignitas, of course, more than anyone else, they want to go to the major. It's in Stockholm, right? So home crowd, home territory. That's all a part of the dream. But what could have been a nice little added win here within this group could end up turning into an OG swing. They are building pressure, and this A site will see siege.
Oh, nice find coming in from Lekro to open us up. The AWP on the dangerous angle as well. He's returned on the other side, and he just finds a cheeky one around the corner. Nico gets caught timing-wise. So looking very good here, 5 versus 3. Forest on high has yet to be revealed, and he'll drop the bomb. Now they're hand-forced. We must indeed keep going on this A-bomb site. Do they even want to do that? I don't think so.
Yeah. Calling it quits. Of course, with those rounds in a row, their loss bonus, not built up, but they have, as previously mentioned, some stuffed pockets. So they're saving way more than they would possibly get if they went in and died. Good economic moves, big money moves. But Dignitas, solid hold on A. The crossfire a little too much to beat past. The aggression over towards long as well finds nothing. So there is no secondary prong to the assault that OG can maybe leverage if you know you find that kill in at long. Suddenly the site players are sort of darting between sight lines. Do I have to focus on Moto? What helps my site players out? Not to be.
All right, talked about this adaptation. OG have got a lot more experience at the higher level as a squad, as a team. Maybe not in terms of, you know, overall, let's add it all together. Freiburg and Forest make up quite a bit, of course.
Oh, they exchange legs? Eye for an eye, or I guess, yeah, leg for a leg. Well, I guess we take it. Holzerk and Montu shake hands, nod from afar, and say, okay, we'll fight another day.
Yes. An enemy at the gates, if you will. Respectable. The sniper v sniper battle always is a game of respect, I think. The general infantry maybe indeed not really thinking so deeply about the level of skill and all that kind of stuff. Just doing their job. But these snipers, of course, especially on the early picks, really, really is a game of chicken.
Nothing but respect. But who's going to back down, especially when it comes to this aggression that OG are hoping to mount over towards B, grinding up a lot of time on this clock. 45-second mark and 5 over in at Banana. A lot of utility for this as well. Freiburg hoping to get ahead of this. Of course, a smoke pretty timely, but it will fade about 25. And a Molotov, just as those smokes rain in, OG will be kept lingering a little longer.
Yeah, they're kind of annoying for them, but here we go again, bursting so well together, keeping that coordination going. He's going to stand in the flames, really trying to play with fire indeed, and it ends up costing him a tough fight there for Freiburg. Not looking too good. Halzerk on the AWP goes a bit too wide second time around. It's down to Forest, it's down to Lekro. 2-on-3, that's actually not impossible. Lekro is pretty quickly in towards Banana, so going to get the information there. Forest, though, holding on the extremities, and I think that's the call here. Wait and see if anything comes our way. It does not, so catch you in the next round. Therefore, OG hitting 5, which, as we generally say, that bare minimum requirement.
Yeah, you could see that they were just hoping that some of these low HP players from OG just overstepped their mark, but keeping a nice level head in the post plant, understanding the feasibility of a retake success here from Dignitas. Yeah, that minimum mark being hit is certainly nice here for OG. Of course, both teams not exactly uncomfortable with Inferno, sometimes pick it themselves into series. So pretty well versed on these T sides, as you often start with them being picks in best of 3s. So they're still hoping, you know, for a little bit more. They've got more than enough money behind them to string rounds together, even if Dignitas put up a fight. And I wonder if we'll see Dignitas try and get a little bit more in the face of OG in these last couple, especially with Halzerk not being able to afford up that AWP. Maybe they take more aggro apartments pressure, set up for some sort of a 1-2 punch.
Oh, do it. Oh, he misses the opportunity. Freiburg, though, he will actually find one, which in that scenario, to be honest with you, low ammo and in the thick of it, absolutely commendable to find one, to be honest with you. But those trades work pretty well, especially on Inferno, man. Like, you can keep, as you have said, pull them from pillar to post and just keep them guessing, where do we go? Bit of utility over towards B to sell that. That'll split the defense, maybe. I think that's what they've tried to do here. But again, Dignitas, they have a real committal to the game plan. 3 on A, that's what we're playing, okay? Until we absolutely have to move, we're staying 3 on A. And that's what they've gone for. Timing just as the cross comes in from Lekro. He's sat here on the off angle. Could be massive. He will get flashed off. The damage is huge. He can't quite find the kills, though. Meanwhile, Forest looking good in at the hay bales. Will find one. Working around the smoke. Going to get a well-timed peek there to take out the second. He keeps on going. And Forest has still got an age but a number. Mantu will take him down, but surely Forest has set the round up for his boys. And indeed, that will be the case as Halzuk capitalizes.
Man, what a hold there from Forrest. Just using that smoke to perfection, playing the angles just as OG are clearing the site. I mean, these first two players aren't even looking at him. And that's all the experience, just being able to play off of these angles that are so advantageous. And he read into the strat from OG perfectly. You know, dealt with that one player on short and then all attentions onto the wrap instead. I was actually going to say, I was maybe a little bit worried if OG went back to that B bomb site or if it ground more off that clock, because I think Heap in that anchor role, because he had to cover for Freiburg's earlier loss, could have been a susceptibility. I think Heap is so much more impactful when he comes in on those rotations, but that wasn't going to be a chance for Dignitas to really capitalize on. They couldn't pull him away from that site. And Forrest just does all the heavy lifting.
Hey, listen, man. He's been doing that for a long time now.
True.
Some may forget, but, you know, respect your elders and all that. One of the, if not the highest earning player in 1.6. Awkward fight for Lekro. He's going to commit. Yeah, he kind of knows that he has to. I think he did have to stick around for that. However, it's Flames who fights the perfect timing. Big fights coming in. Heap on the site. Going to have to do a Forest, but he can't. And Freiburg is left 1v2. Final round of the first half, so of course going to go for it, but the odds not in his favor.
Yeah, no utility for this either, and they haven't really committed to the site just yet either. So Freiburg's a little concerned that someone could be wrapping behind him, some sort of a lurk play. Why is it taking so long for this bomb to go down? Now he'll get the prompt. Has a kit, so isolating these fights, has the ability to reposition if he was fast enough about it, but the smoke meeting him at Modo, it's a hard one.
Yeah, he has to check all these angles as well. So really not going to have a lot of time. And then a hook to get past. It just goes from bad to worse. Yeah, difficult. Really, really good start from Dignitas there as they get themselves a 7-1, I do believe. Unfortunately, towards the end, they couldn't quite capitalize to turn that into a crazy half. Still a doable one, still a nice one, and of course, still a winnable one. We'll see, indeed, if they can convert after the break.
Rough start from OG in that first half, but they were able to bring things back, and they are right on the no-tails of Dignitas as they try to bring things back into the second half. Now, of course, starting into the CT side, Dignitas, they had a lot of things going for them, but they started to lose out on some of that gas. We'll see if that affects them. It's going to be quite interesting to see how OG adapt, whether they're going to make those swift changes the same way that Dignitas were able to do, just to squeak out a few more wins. That veteran leadership, certainly leading by example. Of course, on the mic with me is Scriv. Always, it's going to be quite an interesting start to things because OG are running straight down mid.
Yeah, not wasting any time. Straight in the face to their opponents, trying to send a message early on into the CT side. So far, so good. But the Glocks, as the gap closes, do look nasty. Forest good for one. Can't quite find any more than that. Heaps getting shot from both sides. And now down to a 2 versus 3. So OG, they managed to get the advantage with their mad play.
Tried so hard to set up for some sort of an execute, I think. You know, they had a fair amount of utility here for Dignitas, and then all of a sudden, OG right in their faces. So let's go to plan G. I think we've skipped a few letters, but not exactly heavily accounting for scenarios like this. OG can be in so many nooks and crannies. You can see how slowly they're working through these apartments. But taking that step back, OG, they know they did the damage they needed to. Alexi's in charge of that B site, and while Dig slow worked this one, this is into the hands of these remaining 2 OG players nearby.
Really slow worked it.
Got to be cautious.
Well, eventually. Well, you know, you've got to be careful. You do need to be watching out for the peaks that come up. Flames out wide. And now it's just Lecro. Yeah, unfortunately not going to give him the opportunity, is he? You know what I mean? You just got to bide time, even let him get the bomb plant, to be fair. Well played to allow this to happen. And now the wide committal. Back he goes to his hidey hole. And eventually the patience of Mantu will pay off. Goodness me, it does get a bit tense. But OG with that aggression, that ultimately wins them the round.
Oh, Mantu, you rat. Just constantly toying with his emotions. Like, oh, I'm going to peek you here. High ground, low ground. Kept swapping between them.
Exactly like a cartoon. Exactly like a cartoon, you know, just being the annoying little animal guy, Sid the Sloth kind of energy.
Yeah. Constant thorn in the side. And hey, the plan works out there from OG. You know, they get away with that man advantage off the pistol round start. And so they can continue building on this. On what was effectively a pretty lost half at the start. You know, they did claw it back. Now a chance to, of course, tie things up. Dignitas do have a buy. They did get that plant down, so AKs are out. And it's 5 MP9s from OG. Don't think this is going to serve them well with Mantu already gone. This early exploration as a result of the added mobility of these SMGs can sometimes provide. They're down a man.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't like it. I remember when the French teams, especially G2, when they were fully French, they used to do this all the time. And they used to lose rounds like this all the time. So my omens here are not very good at all. But we'll have to see, of course. So a big slowdown. You find that first kill. There's no need to rush. Again, nature of Inferno, the T-side rotations, the T-side bait plays. And you can see it's weakened up the B-bomb site somewhat. But also, of course, we'd probably see a 4-man stack on A, to be honest with you, this early on into the half, right? It's the safe, the default, as it were, for a lot of CT sides at the moment.
Well, Flamesy's got a whole lot to do. They're coming his way. Smoke will fade soon enough. The spam's right on top of it, so he gets away with murder.
Could be big, could be very big, and the well-timed nade here if he goes for it. It is. Oh, love to see it. Love to see it. Maybe not if you're a Dig fan, of course. They'll move into the MP9 as he just mows them down. Continues the damage, creates the space, and I think that might just be enough. Compact going to come in, the nade to deny, and it will. Down to just Forest. Round is over. There's nothing he can do. He's going to try and stay alive. And even that will be impossible. Just goes down in the nick of time, so he will get his loss bonus. But OG back to their winning ways, looking very, very good here in the early stage of half two.
Well, you know, so we're not liking the SMGs. As soon as that nade comes out from Flames, as they're coming towards that B bomb site, the SMGs become that much more valuable. Oh man, that was so well played by him. The timing on the spray and then the patience as well, just as Dig are coming at him. Beautiful stuff. And of course, this is the first time we're seeing OG, you know, playing this map at this event. So with their, I think, coveted Dust 2, the way that they played it against Sprout earlier in the groups, you know, they're likely to have come up with a few tricks on Inferno as well.
Oh, you have to have done, right? You have to have done. Using that new update to your advantage. Ooh. That was a dig through the wall, yeah. Keep you on your toes. All right, let's see. Pistols, always dangerous, as they've already proven to be in the early stage so far. Nico tucked in. Got a bit of support, of course. Smoke goes down. A little boring, but they'll try and attack off the back of it, and, well, that's the wrong decision. Touchdown nade goes in. Doesn't actually find the kill, and those Porch players will be overwhelmed. Still got Valde. Great little off angle when there's limited utility coming in your way. I think he should be able to hold here. Looking very good indeed. He says, of course, cursing him out. What can I say? Oh, and Lekro, if he'd found that kill, there was certainly a chance. It comes awfully close, you know, but OG get the round. Yeah,
Lekro with a D on the A bomb site. I feel like that could have just been straight highlight reel if he gets that kill on the flank, but yeah, too much pressure. OG these past couple rounds looking pretty good, and as a result of that heavy SMG buy that they went for, you know, of course they brought a couple of rifles into that round. You know, they don't have to feel too bad about the basically full reinvestment as it came down to pretty low numbers for OG. Now let's see what Dig are made of. Proper rifles are out. Of course, Mantu can go uncontested on this AWP, but flashes will be plentiful.
Oh, great flash coming in as well. Valde almost able to get a multi-frag round, but he's forced the hand of Dig. And, well, there's not much to show, unfortunately. Trying to push their way in, not looking good. Heat will be the first to break the silence for that T side. And now back to all quiet on Inferno. Molotov and a few bullets landing here, but really, really tense stuff. You can see as well, Alexi B's gone for the quick rotation back towards B. So numbers-wise, there was a chance for a second. Nico, though, spots with the info at the hay bales, goes a bit wide. And, yeah, the jackpot, that's the bomb. Looking real good here. Forest and Heap to entry back in, get the bomb plant, and then win the retake. Not going to be easy at all. They're set up brilliantly here. Oh, CT side. Heap trying. Can't find the taps. Oh, trying to guess. Nice little spray down to take out Nico. And the bomb, which way is it going? You know, is it going B? Is it going A? They're keeping the guessing game going, considering they've not really moved from short very much. Now Smoke's in on the site, going to try and isolate some of these jewels. Mantu, though. No scope through the gap. Filth. Absolute filth. Heap tried to go above, but morale going to be broken after a no-scopes just happened next to you. Of course, OG taking the lead.
Man, aren't OG just, they look so good here on the CT side. How, in these 4 rounds, how many times has Dignitas looked comfortable when we've ground about 30 seconds off the clock? They were aggroed down middle in the pistol. They found their way into this SMG full buy that was, I mean, ridiculously well played from Flamesies. So then they were uncomfortable going into B. And now into the rifle round as well, they just get mowed down. Some of these timings, nades being pulled out from Dignitas as they round these corners. OG are creating discomfort here for Dignitas. And it's great to see. I think, you know, OG are one of the squads that we certainly will look to in the same way that we used to look at Big to sort of find the cutting edge. I think OG are one of those squads that will be right at the forefront. But Dignitas, you got to get a little nervous. You know, you had that big lead, and even with these veterans behind you on LAN, it can be a tall order if you don't really know what OG have planned.
Oh, bit
Wanted
weird
to
on the
give it to
drops
him,
as it
but
can
then
be.
Flames ran
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Just trying to be a nice guy. Happens from time to time. It's like, no, I don't want to use the utility. You do it, because I'm going to get the kills. And, well, he's got one singular. Oh, they all lined up. He couldn't get the triple. That would have been absolutely insane. Forest, when it's all said and done, is the only one left. He will get the bomb plant in, but it might just cost him his life. No crazy rushes through the smoke from Valde. And now, Forest against 3 on the D. Can't find the head of the first. Tough peak. OG, it does get a little dicey for just a sec, but all good, of course. Number 11 on the board. Really, really looking good here, Michael. And I think certainly, you know, attesting to what you're on about Dignitas, can't quite dig deep. It seems like the strat book, especially on his T side, is somewhat limited, relying a lot on their instincts, which might work and has been working against the tier 2 opposition. OG, however, way too on the ball, way too mechanically savvy to allow that to happen.
Yeah, and unless you're able to go kind of blow for blow and find these like rapid entries, OG seem to have these quick contingencies that are in place already. So yeah, it's quite hard to capitalize off some of these sort of instinctual plays that might come out here on this T side. Dignitas are often quite good, especially in those tier 2 games that, you know, they were talking about in ahead of this one, the little VT we had shown. That, you know, they've been very good at this sort of push-pull, but right now, as they're trying to push, they're getting pushed into as well. So no chance to pull back, really. There is hope. You know, the AWP out for Halzerk now. Full utility across the board. Good chance to create some more of these openings, especially if OG rear their heads forward into some of these drier peaks or these quick pop flashes that that they have been going for, sorry, on the CT side.
The buy is not the excuse, right? I think that's ultimately to tie a little bow on your point there. So one of the better rounds in that sense when, you know, it starts in the neutral game at the start of the round. This is one of the better rounds that we've seen for a while.
I'm just a little nervous now because they have no more flashes.
Yeah,
they've used a lot of that in securing
them.
Early brackets. Yeah, where are all the flashes? Have we dropped them? Is there a stockpile somewhere? No, it doesn't seem so.
Would be a bit weird for the T side. It's going to be difficult, of course, to peek into all these angles dry. There's one reason why, because you've got Mantu on the AWP, and they're also tightly packed in. So you peek in, you're probably going to get peeked by 2 or 3 players all at once. Oh, it's a bit scary. Great fight from Halzerk. Is that the start of this take of the A-bomb site? It's Valde in towards Pit that they are not expecting. The wide swing for 2, and now just Halzerk. Maybe, just maybe. They are split. He's not ready for the player from short, but he spins around to find it. No way. Halzerk misses the shot, but he's given another chance in. The gods of Counter-Strike looking down upon him, and now they just have to be the vessel. Cannot miss another shot. He's left low. The bomb in and out. The site is a bit awkward. But again, he's given the chance. The hold. He sees the barrel, and Halzerk will get it done. An absolute vessel of destruction as he will find himself the ace to get Dignitas the 10th and to stay hot on the heels of OG.
Can you believe that? Starts off with the wallbang, but then it's trades on trades. The flank tries to catch him out and he doesn't. And then it's all to play for. Alexi's trying to just play it confident, but Halzerk playing it even cooler. Well, hot damn. I said there was certainly still a chance.
Yeah. Never over till it's over. That's the beauty of the game. You know? You see all these other games, there's up and down, there's the peaks and troughs, and it's like, well, it gets to a certain point in some of them where it's like, yep, probably over. In this, we have points like that from time to time. When it's like this, definitely not. An ace clutch, yep.
I had to like catch myself. I almost let out like a yes, you know, like almost like I'm rooting for them. But I don't have a horse in this race. I was excited to see what he had in store for us. And he got dealt the right cards. Played the right hand. Well, that is certainly going to rock things up here for OG. Of course, a lot to be proven still from this squad as well. We talked a lot about how this group is ladled with uncertainties in terms of how all these ties fare up. Dignitas certainly making this into a meal. And a chance to topple the economy of OG as well. Could swiftly move them their way into a lead if they win this one.
It is nail-biting stuff. Oh. Some interesting lineups here for the nades in towards coffins. And, well, if he'd been aggressively posted up, that might have taken him down because he was sort of hunkered down, turtled in still. 75 free damage, we'll take that, says Dignitas.
Still don't really have a read on what Dignitas are up to. And with the clock winding down, I think Flamesy wants to investigate. Nade in. Not too much damage, just a little bit of peppering. A little seasoning on top. See if they're ready for the full dish. B bomb site going to be executed upon. Smokes are in. Montu having that AWP, and he'll strike first.
Flash over the top for the Deagle to work with as well. Flamez's got support. They've boosted up the M4 awfully quickly. It's not going to happen. Freiburg gets one. They don't even know where the A1S is at, to be honest. Focused in on this player first. Oranges flying Valde. A Valkyrie, if you will save OG in that round. Finding them the 12th and sending Dig straight back to the drawing board. See you later. Nice ace clutch, Halzerk, but whatever. Doesn't matter. We're not phased, and they're right back to their winning ways.
Yeah, you're going to need another one if you want to try and take that lead away from us. That's a swing round between the two squads. So now Dignitas in this position where they can't afford up the full buy. It's Freiburg on an AK, but not too much else surrounding it. A few bits and bobs here for Lekro and the squad. I'm loving that they're sort of setting up these flash plays in for Valde as well in some of the early rounds. We saw it have some impact earlier on, getting an opening kill. Freiburg's hero AK finds nothing, not even a speckle of damage. And then continuously Molotoving out, so it's not exactly retrievable. It'll be interesting to see if they nade that out of position. Don't know if they spotted that AK. It's already made its way into Heap's hands, so he tanks the brunt of the damage. Smoke timing is pretty solid. Could have made contact with Heap, and if it did, you would have expected the Alexi spam, but still keeping it calm. A lot of silence across the map. These Deegs not finding too much in their investigative ventures.
Not yet. Of course, as is always the optimal word. Heap gonna eat so much damage. There's kills going on the other side of the map with the lurking presence, and they've got the old classic here. Two players stacked up on top of each other. They will never expect it. Double swing comes in. It's a bit awkward. As Flamesy, not 2 headshots, but actually 3 landed there. Nonetheless, OG looking good, and I think this game is now in their hands.
Yeah, certainly feeling like they're going to be able to peel away with this one. I mean, is that ADR for the half? Surely not. Forrest 111 on 13 kills? Is that right?
I did notice this earlier. We were like 6 rounds in or something. He had like 4 kills and 167 ADR.
Yeah.
So, who knows? I mean, maybe indeed for half. Maybe resetting weirdly.
Feels extremely high for the number of kills, but we'll move past it. Montu peeking round the Molotov and Forrest decapitated. All right. This is a full gun round. Goodbye, Forrest.
Wow. Won't be adding to that ADR anytime soon.
They've been so sneaky about some of these peaks that they're going for on the side of OG, whether it's like a Molotov to mask their Montu, or, you know, this perfectly timed pop flash for Valde. Dignitas can't fall asleep for even a moment.
No. And I think this is the thing, you know, on the ball, absolutely needed. Big damage coming in. Not able to find any more off the back of it, but Flamesy surely set up for a multi-frag moment. Will get taken down from above, but it is all down to Halzerk. It feels like to save the game. There's a massive gap in the smoke that he might just be able to use to his advantage. But we'll see. Fake plant coming through. Valve going to take that opportunity, therefore, to walk through the coffin smoke. Yeah, not looking good. The competition, unfortunately, has fallen by the wayside. OG rolling through these rounds right now.
Yeah, they kind of sprinting through them. And this Alexi Flamesy combo over at this B site feels a little too tall a task. Weirdly enough, that, you know, just able to bounce off one another. They've been setting up different crossfires continuously on that B bomb site, making things unpredictable. So it's a lot harder to isolate those fights and figure out where Alexi stood, whether you can catch him with nades, and they have caught OG a couple of times, you know, bundling utility. But look at Valde, just on a half buy round, just runs at them straight through the window, finds 2 additional damage on Heap as well, sowing more and more of that discomfort down the necks of Dignitas. And it feels like they've just got too many positives, too much of a strut to their step.
Too much in their favor. And you talk about strut and steps, can't put a foot wrong right now to drag that one out a little bit. But yeah, indeed, I think Dignitas, the complete opposite. They can't do anything right.
Yeah, only one round they've gotten on T side was Halzerk's ace. So,
and you can't really call upon that. That's like a once in probably like 10 best of ones worth of games. So very difficult indeed to call upon that. Big nade damage, not like the AWP cares, but all the same, it's just going to keep battering down that morale. 40 seconds left, bomb drop. Freiburg wants the king of entries in this particular video game. See whether he can tap into that a little bit. At the moment, not really going to be the case.
Oh, they're kissing.
Ooh, they are. They walk past each other. Oh. I think Freiburg might just have noticed, though, as he goes back in. Yeah, he spreads the information. People find the kill, but Freiburg walks straight past Alexi B. Well timed, all onto the Tech 9. Can't get it done, and there is the match point. Pretty quickly here, secured by OG.
What's the plan? Last round, potentially. Timeout called here for Dignitas to discuss it. They need 5 straight. They need to threaten that overtime. We've seen these games so far. Both games that we've had today have been close. And it was certainly, you know, this vying for control in that first half, but CT side of OG has been a completely different story. Doesn't feel like Dignitas ever got into a spot where they could feel fine in what they're doing, you know, not finding the replicatable entries, constantly peppered down by damage, being men down before they can really orchestrate a plan together. And OG aren't going to let up. They're not going to ease off their necks. I almost feel like something quicker has got to come by here for Dignitas. They've been getting caught in the default so many times.
Yeah, to be honest, you know, it's the initial exchanges, the early openers and whatnot that just feel like they're making the difference. And this man, particularly, has read in. He knows exactly what's happening before it's going to. He can get aggressive, he can play passive. But if he walks in well for me, he continues to open up. We'll see what happens with that little play over there. It's actually going to be the first in towards Banana. Flame Z. Oh, the timing. No way. No way. Heap going to walk straight into his crosshair. And that is incredibly lucky. Heap had been watching it for a while, watching for the aggression, but Flame Z crept under. Sneaky little man that he is, and he will find the opener once again for OG.
Another step that just can't go wrong. It's all comes down to these timings. Flamesy that a little bit more patient with it. Of course, that smoke would have faded, and now Dignitas, being that man down, set their sights on A. Nico does have some counter utility to be deployed, so as soon as that starts to come out, expect that Dignitas will get flashed to all hell.
Sound a little bit of a weird, like, yeah, limbo kind of thing at the moment with the rotations. 30 seconds left, though. As soon as a presence is shown, you are indeed, man, going to move in. And Valde, time and time again, from this position, has timed his nade so well. double smoke at library speaks to a bit of awkwardness. Lekro find his kill on towards Valde, but peeks out before the smoke goes down, trying to get cheeky. That's not going to work here. Halzerk, you got an ace clutch already. Let's go for a 1v4. That's easy, right?
Oh,
I was joking. Oh, okay, he walks into the AWP but does get taken down. Jeez. Again, flashbacks, of course, but the 16-10 comes in. The conventional finish. OG, well-deserved. Only dropping one round in half two.